The future is scary. The millions and options of paths that lie in front of us can be greatly detrimental to our well-being. Life transitions and lulls, the inability to decide what to do or who to be, those times when you say to yourself, "What now?" can create a lot of stress, anxiety, worry, and in my case, depression. I graduated high school 4.5 years ago. I never really had solid plans for post-secondary education. I was too indecisive, and I always had this desire to kind of create my own path, even though I didn't know what it was. This made me feel really different from everyone else. It seemed like everyone had their entire lives planned out and were packing their bags and heading off on new adventures. And there I was, just being, unaware of the next step to take. After high school, I worked for a year before finally setting my sights on a goal to travel. I ended up working 3 jobs, over 70 hours a week. I never really took the time to relax or to feel stress or worry. I was just too busy, and none of it mattered, because in the end, I would quit all my jobs, get on a plane, and fly to the other side of the world. Now, the first month of my trip was absolutely incredible. I was in the most beautiful place with my best friend in the entire world. I was seeing things and doing things I never thought I would be doing. But then something started to happen. I'd be seeing things with my eyes and doing things with my hands, but I couldn't feel them. It wouldn't register in here, and it wouldn't register in here. I'd somehow gained this inability to feel excitement. The thing was, I never took the time to relax at home. I never took the time to connect with myself. So I definitely didn't know how to do it on the other side of the world when I had the time for it. I was just completely unsatisfied. It felt like something was constantly missing, and that thing that was missing was my happiness. By the time I came home, I experienced a short high, the realization that I had accomplished my one goal, but it didn't last long. It was followed by that feeling of what now? Fast forward a few months, and I was attending my first day of university. Long story short, it was all downhill from there. I found myself skipping class so that I could go home and sleep, and come December, I decided not to return for second semester. I was always searching for something new and for something better. Nothing I had in front of me was good enough. And as you can imagine, this had a really negative effect on a lot of my relationships. I had absolutely everything that I needed, but I hated everything for no reason at all. I was really disconnected from the world. I was on the verge of tears all the time. There was a lot of times where I'd be sitting and doing nothing, and all of a sudden tears would just start pouring from my eyes, and I had no ability to control or stop them. My mom would ask me what was wrong, and all I could say is, "I'm just so unhappy." I felt like I had these concrete slabs inside of my chest that wouldn't let me feel anything except misery. I finally got to the point where I was so unhappy with being unhappy, and I realized I was going to be the only one who could start chiseling away at that concrete inside of me. There were a lot of things that contributed to my depression, but pressure, an absence of goals, and a lack of confidence were all the major contributors. Now, throughout our life, we face a lot of different pressures coming from every different direction, especially in our teen years. There's a pressure from society, from our parents, from our friends and our peers, and most importantly, a lot of pressure from within ourselves. We don't want to let people down. We don't want to be labeled as a failure. But what we need to remember is that we have to please ourselves first. If we're constantly living for other people, we're never going to feel good enough. Find what is meaningful to you and use that to drive you. Try and surround yourself with like-minded people, people with the same beliefs and goals and values as you. When you do that, you won't feel so different, because you won't be. And try and explain to those who don't understand that if you knew what your future looked like, what your fate was, you'd be working towards it. That being stuck is not a choice, and it definitely wasn't a choice that I made. That feeling of being stuck is absolutely terrifying. That desire, wanting to do something but not knowing what it is, or having an idea but shying away from it in fear that it's somehow wrong. It's this lack of purpose that makes us stuck. It's this lack of purpose that doesn't get us out of bed in the morning. The more that my mind changed, the more frustrated I became, the more negative my attitude and entire life became. My brain was on this negative routine that wouldn't stop. Everything sucked. I hated everything. And believe me when I say it is possible to reprogram your brain, but believe me when I say it's not an easy task. For me, I did it through the use of goals. And not goals for the next 5 or 10 years, goals for the next hour, for the next day, for the next week. These small, short-term, attainable goals is what gets you out of bed. It gives you a purpose. It gives you something to work towards. And positivity and negativity are simply routines that our brains are used to practicing. They get stuck on this loop. Goals are what make you unstuck. They give you something to work towards. They create positive momentum and forward momentum. And eventually, when it gets easier to do those smaller things, you can focus on larger challenges. Now I'd like to talk about confidence a little bit. In my opinion, it's something that we all need a lot more of. That feeling inside of you. If you can't rely on yourself, how is anybody else supposed to? The best piece of advice I've ever gotten was from a Halls rapper. I was having the worst day, just really sad, in the worst period of my life, and on top of things, I was sick. I go to open up this little candy, and it literally made me stop in my tracks. On this are 5 simple, small words that just hold so much power and put everything into perspective for me. It says, "Don't give up on you." That's so important. We can't give up on ourselves. If you're having a bad day, you can't give up. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has those days where getting out of bed seems like the most impossible and unrealistic thing in the entire world. But it's okay to have those bad days. We're all human. And sometimes those bad days just are our body telling us that we need to slow down, that we need to take a step back and relax and focus on what is going on. Why are we having those bad days? I feel myself slipping sometimes, and it scares the absolute crap out of me. But that's when I have to stop and take a step back and say, I'm confident in everything that I've learned. I'm confident in my abilities. I'm confident in myself, and I won't let myself slip any more than this one day. You can let yourself have a bad day, but learn from them, and in the future, you'll be able to possibly prevent them from happening again. And if those bad days keep coming, don't be afraid to ask for help. I was never one to ask questions or ask for help, but in the end, that's what ended up saving me. There are people out there to listen to you, to offer advice, to guide you, or in my case, my therapist listened to me bawl my eyes out for an hour every week. But they're there for you. No one is ever going to understand exactly what you're feeling inside. No one's going to understand those feelings. No one's going to understand that sadness. But when the time comes and you're ready to open up to people, the more that you open up to them, the more that they'll open up to you. I had friends for years and years, and when the time came and I opened up, by the end of our conversation, we were finishing each other's sentences. People are there to listen to you and to help you. Now, how can we stay resilient through all of life's transitions and lulls? We need to have a strong mind, a strong body, and a strong soul. Take care of your body. The stronger and healthier that you are, the more capable you will be to break free of all that negativity that surrounds you. And be kind to yourself. It's okay to be unsure. It's okay to have those bad days. We're all human. We just need to learn from them. And take a chance, make a change. If you try and you fail, that's one more thing that you've learned about yourself. We're always learning, no matter what kind of lesson it is. It might not be in a textbook or in a classroom, but a valuable lesson can be learned from every success and from every failure. Find what works for you. Everybody's so different. You know what? By getting lost, it'll help you find yourself. I took a huge chance in coming out to Nelson, but it turns out that this was the exact change of pace that I needed for myself, and I finally feel like I belong somewhere. Those concrete blocks are always going to be inside of me. I'm going to be chiseling away at them every single day for the rest of my life. But I'm confident in myself, I'm confident in my abilities, and I'm confident in everything that I've learned and all the time that I've taken to be comfortable with myself, that I will still chisel away at them every single day for the rest of my life. And nobody has it completely figured out. If they say that they do, they're wrong. Things can change within the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year. Things change with the snap of your fingers. But through all those changes, you have to remember, don't give up on you.